Meghan and Harry, these absolute cretins, decide to inject themselves into the devastation in Los Angeles for one reason: to get their faces back on camera and to improve their image.
Meghan never saw this coming. A shocking decision from Prince William has reportedly slammed shut a door that once gave her a crucial connection to the UK, and insiders say the fallout is causing serious concern behind the scenes. What exactly has Meghan lost access to? And why is William's move sending shockwaves through royal circles? Could this decision permanently change her relationship with Britain and the royal family? Join us as we uncover the alleged royal power play, the access Meghan can no longer count on, and the surprising reasons this latest twist has everyone talking. The door that quietly closed. For years, the story of the royal rift has been told as a slow-motion fallout between two brothers, but recently, the focus has changed to something far colder, a decision that reportedly came straight from Prince William himself. The future king is said to have drawn a line that Meghan cannot cross, no matter how many times she might one day return to British soil. Here is what that line actually means. William does not control the borders of Britain. He cannot stop a plane from landing or a passport from being stamped. What he can control is something far more personal. He controls access to himself, to his wife Kate, and to the inner circle of the working royal family. And on that front, the message has reportedly been blunt. The door is shut. William and Kate are not changing their minds. Insiders say the Prince and Princess of Wales will not meet the Sussexes anywhere in private. The only time anyone will see them together is at official public events where cameras are already rolling. They should therefore forget about private dinners or family reunions behind closed gates. There is absolutely no soft welcome back into the royal family. This is like holding a grudge so hard that a family reunion requires a television crew and a press pass just to keep the peace. At this rate, the next family holiday will need a broadcast contract. That reality has to sting. Word is Meghan joined the family, genuinely thinking she could play peacekeeper, charm the public, and blend right into the world's most famous household. Cut to now, and she is completely locked out. Her own brother-in-law literally bolted the door from the inside and took off. It turns out that trading Hollywood for a historic palace does not automatically give a person a master key. Walking into that family expecting a warm welcome is like walking into a bank vault and expecting the security guards to hand over the cash just because someone smiled at them. And the cruelest part, according to royal watchers, is how casually it has all been delivered. But if the doors of the palace are closing, when exactly did Meghan last step through them? And what happened on that final visit that no one saw coming? The last time she walked on British soil. To see how bad things really are, it is important to look at the calendar. Meghan has not set foot in the United Kingdom since September 2022, when she and Harry attended Queen Elizabeth's funeral. That was the exact moment the world watched the Fab Four walk around Windsor together, faking smiles for the crowds while the entire relationship was already in the trash. Since that solemn day, Meghan has not returned. Harry has crossed the Atlantic several times for his father, for charity events, and even for a family funeral on the Spencer side. But every single time, he has reportedly made those trips alone, leaving Meghan and the children thousands of miles away in California. The image of Harry walking back into Britain without his wife has become one of the defining pictures of this entire saga. The situation with the kids is even worse. Lilibet was born in California in 2021 and has apparently only been to Britain once. That happened during the Queen's Jubilee in 2022, which just happened to line up with her first birthday. Archie is just as invisible over there. This means the king gets almost no time with his grandchildren, who are growing up thousands of miles away, across an ocean. Meghan, for her part, has reportedly made her feelings about the country plain. For years, she has signaled, through friends and through her own choices, that she has little desire to return to the place where she feels she was treated so harshly. To her, Britain is allegedly the stage where her hardest and most public years played out in front of millions. So the situation hardened into a strange standoff. A duchess who reportedly does not want to return. a family that reportedly will not fully welcome her if she does, and a husband caught in the middle, flying back and forth across the world, trying to hold two lives together at once. Yet there was always one wall standing between Meghan and Britain that had nothing to do with hurt feelings. So what was the real barrier keeping her family from ever coming home? And who built it? The security wall that started it all. The real issue here is security. That single factor shaped this entire mess way more than any tabloid drama ever could. When Harry and Meghan quit their royal jobs in early 2020, their lives changed instantly behind the scenes. The official committee in charge of royal security decided Harry was no longer entitled to automatic, taxpayer-funded police guards whenever he visited Britain. From that point on, his protection became a messy, case-by-case decision for every single trip. It turns out that quitting the family business means losing the company perks, even if the perk is an entire squad of armed bodyguards. Walking around London without a taxpayer-funded security detail apparently makes a prince feel like a regular civilian. To Harry, that was not a small technicality. It was a matter of life and death. He has argued for years that he cannot safely bring Meghan and their children into the country without proper police protection, pointing to the very real threats that follow a man in his position. During one solo visit, reports claim that a known stalker came dangerously close to him on multiple occasions, underscoring exactly why he refused to risk his family. So Harry did what almost no royal ever does. He took the British government to court. He fought to have his protection restored, arguing he had been unfairly singled out for inferior treatment. But in May 2025, the gavel came down against him. The court ruled that the original decision had been lawful, and that his grievance was simply not enough to overturn it. A later appeal failed too. The defeat reportedly devastated him. He spoke openly about not being able to imagine a world where he would bring his wife and children back to a place where he felt they would be left exposed. And in that single sentence, the security wall became something much bigger. It became the locked gate keeping Meghan out of Britain altogether. For her, it was both a shield and a cage, a reason to stay away, and at the same time, a barrier that stripped away any real choice. It is worth remembering how public this fight became. When the couple first moved to the United States, even the question of who would pay for their protection spilt into the headlines, with reports that the American government had no intention of footing the bill. From the very beginning, the safety of Meghan and the children was never a private family matter. It was a global story, argued in courtrooms and splashed across front pages, leaving the Duchess permanently tied to a debate she allegedly never wanted to be part of. Then, almost out of nowhere, the ground beneath that wall reportedly began to move. Could the very barrier that kept Meghan away finally be coming down? And what would that mean for William's frozen door? The review that could change everything. In late 2025, something unexpected happened. Harry reportedly wrote privately to the Home Secretary, asking for a fresh and complete review of his security. And this time, the request was taken seriously. For the first time since 2020, Ravek reportedly launched a full risk assessment of the Duke of Sussex, handled by a specialist board of senior police and intelligence officials. This was no longer a quick trip-by-trip judgment. It was a deep, comprehensive look at the genuine dangers Harry faces, with a ruling expected in early 2026. Multiple reports described the internal mood around the review as quietly positive, with some sources suggesting the decision could finally turn in Harry's favor. The implications were huge. If Harry's automatic security were reinstated, even in part, the main barrier preventing Meghan and the children from returning to Britain could disappear almost overnight. A locked door that once seemed immovable might suddenly open. In theory, a family kept apart by distance and circumstance could finally find its way back to the UK. This is the exact spot where the drama gets messy. An open gate is not actually a good thing for Meghan. For years, the lack of security gave her a perfect, bulletproof excuse to stay far away from Britain. No one is going to blame a mother for keeping her kids out of a dangerous situation. But if the security issue gets solved, that excuse vanishes. The decision to stay away suddenly looks completely personal and leaves her completely exposed to criticism. Having a legitimate safety concern is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for avoiding the in-laws. Taking that away means admitting that the real reason for skipping the family reunion is just a mutual, deep-seated hatred. Suddenly, The question is no longer whether she can come back. It becomes whether she will. And if she does, she would reportedly be walking straight into the cold reception William has allegedly prepared. A country that may finally allow her in, met by a family that reportedly still will not. That is the trap royal watchers have started to describe. A homecoming where only half the family is willing to open the door. But while Britain debated whether to let her back in, Meghan was reportedly building something across the ocean that made the whole question feel almost beside the point. So what exactly had she been creating in California? And did she even need Britain anymore? The empire she built across the ocean. While the royal machine churned over security reviews and frozen doors, Meghan was reportedly playing an entirely different game. She was building an empire. Since settling in California, Meghan has leaned hard into life as a businesswoman. Her lifestyle brand, as ever, became one of her central projects, and reports suggest it has performed far better than her critics ever expected. After a glitch on the brand's website, let sharp-eyed shoppers calculate sales figures, observers claimed her signature fruit spread alone had pulled in tens of millions. Whether every figure holds up or not, the message is loud. Meghan was making real money on her own terms, far from the palace. Alongside the business, the couple maintained a busy schedule of high-profile overseas trips, visiting countries such as Colombia and Nigeria. Critics sneeringly dubbed these outings faux royal tours, accusing the Sussexes of enjoying all the trappings of royalty without any of the duty. Supporters saw something else entirely. They saw two people who had walked away from the institution and landed firmly on their feet. This is the part of the story that reportedly cuts deepest in Britain. Because the longer Meghan thrives abroad, the weaker William's frozen door looks like a punishment. How do you lock someone out of a club they have allegedly stopped wanting to join? How do you wield access as a weapon against a woman who has reportedly built her own kingdom thousands of miles away? Every successful launch, every glossy appearance, every headline about her growing fortune sends the same quiet signal. She does not need the palace to matter. And yet, royal watchers note something curious. For all her success, the pull of the unfinished royal story never quite fades. The titles remain. The name remains. And the question of whether Meghan will ever truly close that chapter, or whether part of her still wants the door reopened, remains wide open. Because no matter how big her empire grows, one man still stands between Meghan and the family she married into. So just how deep does William's resentment really run? And is there any version of this story where he changes his mind? The brother who won't bend. If there is a single immovable object in this entire saga, it is reportedly Prince William. While King Charles has shown flashes of warmth, even reportedly meeting Harry privately for around an hour during a 2025 visit, William has reportedly stayed frozen. Royal sources have used some of the bluntest language imaginable to describe his position. One insider claimed there is no turning back for the future king, and that, as far as he is concerned, the door is firmly shut. Another reportedly described the standoff as non-negotiable, with William refusing to even speak to his brother for years. The anger here goes back years. William feels completely burned by the interviews, the Netflix documentary, and that 2023 memoir that put every private family fight on display for the entire planet. From his perspective, this was not just a sibling rivalry. A brother took their entire shared life and sold it to the highest bidder. That resentment has essentially turned into a permanent wall, and Meghan is stuck right in the middle of the fallout. Selling out childhood secrets for a multi-million-dollar book deal is certainly one way to handle sibling rivalry. Some royal commentators are careful to point out that the cracks in the brothers' relationship existed long before she ever arrived, and that blaming one woman for the whole feud is deeply unfair. But fairness rarely governs how these things feel from the inside. For William, Meghan is allegedly tied to the most painful chapter of his adult life. This decision is a big deal because it is not some official policy or law. This is a personal verdict from a man who will eventually be king, and no court can change his mind. Behind the scenes, other people are trying to fix things. Kate is apparently trying to keep a tiny bridge open, thinking the brothers might fix their relationship if the wives can actually get along. Meanwhile, Charles is very aware that he is getting older, and reportedly just wants some peace before his time runs out. Trying to force a family truce because time is running out is a bold strategy. Usually, realization of mortality just leads to more arguments over who gets the good inheritance, not a sudden desire to hug it out with the relative who trashed everyone on Netflix. What makes the standoff so painful is that Harry himself has reportedly publicly begged for peace. In a televised interview, he spoke about his deep desire for reconciliation with his family, saying there was no point in continuing to fight. By many accounts, the brothers have barely spoken in years, their once unbreakable bond reduced to silence. One royal author has even suggested Harry remains frustrated by what he sees as William's alleged refusal to take any accountability. Two brothers, one throne, and a wall of hurt that neither has managed to climb. And yet, one single event on the horizon could force all of these frozen feelings into the same room at last. So what is the moment that might finally test William's locked door? And could it bring Meghan back after all? The reunion everyone is waiting for. That moment, reportedly, is Invictus. Harry's beloved Invictus Games, the sporting event he created for wounded service members, is heading to Birmingham, and the build-up has become the great hope of every royal watcher dreaming of peace. Royal experts have described the Games as the perfect stage for Harry to extend an olive branch, a setting where the family could appear together under a cause nobody could criticize. The symbolism would be impossible to miss. The very first Games back in 2014 saw Charles, Camilla, and William all there, proud and united. Insiders claim Harry is secretly plotting a careful diplomatic strategy to fix this mess before his brother takes the crown. The ideal fantasy for the optimists looks straightforward. The brothers stand together in public. The tension starts to fade. The door William locked finally opens up a crack. Nobody actually knows where Meghan fits into this plan. Some reports claim the only way to kickstart any peace talks is for Harry to show up entirely alone, just to prove he can function without her. Others believe real reconciliation can never happen while the wives remain estranged. Either way, Meghan reportedly faces an impossible choice: return to a cold room and risk humiliation, or stay away and risk being painted as the one who refused to make peace. This is the heart of why the reported decision lands so hard. Meghan may soon have the access she lost: the open gate, the safe passage, and the technical ability to come home. But access to a building is not the same as access to a family, and William alone reportedly holds that second key. So the saga arrives at a strange and very human crossroads. A woman who built an empire to prove she did not need them. A future king who reportedly decided she would never be let back in. And a single summer of sport that could either break the ice forever or freeze it solid for good. So how much power should one future king really hold over the woman who married into his family? People are clearly divided. Should William finally open the door, or has that chapter closed for good? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.